Holy shnikes.
So smooth.
On paper, this thing looks absolutely sick. Oh, I love the press packaging. This is the Oppo Find X3 Pro 5G. Snapdragon 888 processor, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and what they call an impossible curve in the glass. I haven't actually seen any pictures of this yet because I've intentionally cloistered myself, so I'm excited to find out what an impossible curve is. It's apparently made of Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so, oh, that is cool. That is breathtaking. Have you seen this, Andy?
No.
Holy shnikes.
So smooth.
I mean, I am not a huge fan of camera bumps, but that's not a bump. That's like, it's a contour. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's start at the back. You've got dual 50 megapixel cameras. So I've wondered this for a long time. The cost difference between one sensor and another can't be that much, can it? Why not just put a top quality sensor in both your main shooter and your ultra wide? Well, that's exactly what Oppo did. Then they have a third camera that's a 3 megapixel that is apparently for like micro photography. In the front, we've got a 32 megapixel front facing camera. Obviously, then the front would be a front-facing camera, and is a hole punch. Not a huge fan, but let's see if this thing can make it up to me in some other ways. You know, one of the selling points for this from Oppo is that it's pretty light. I actually tend to agree. At 178 grams, it doesn't feel as chunky as a lot of current flagships. I don't know, maybe it's not that much less heavy, but it definitely feels less chonky. Now, you are gonna give up some spec for that. They had to use a super thin vapor chamber in order to keep a Snapdragon 888 cool in here, and it only has a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, but it does feature their VOOC fast charging, including 30-watt wireless charging. Now, I've made myself clear in the past that I'm not super comfortable with high-speed charging, particularly high-speed wireless charging, and it's not the best way to make your battery last as long as possible, but at least it's there as an option if you're almost depleted and you need to be able to top up a little bit right before you head out of the house. Thanks to Volta for sponsoring today's video. Their Volta Spark 60 watt is a nylon braided charging cable with their snag-safe magnetic connection tip that prevents accidents. It also allows convenient swapping between Lightning, micro USB, and USB Type-C. There's another Spark version with 100 watt support with Quick Charge 4.0 to power your Google and Samsung phones faster. So use the link in the video description below to buy your Volta Spark cables risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime warranty. Ooh, I am not a fan of the screen protector that they've got on this thing out of the box. I appreciate the inclusion, but you can see it doesn't quite go to the edges of what is otherwise I was a huge fan of the Galaxy S6 Edge, like way back in the day, and I really like that kind of feel. The Note 7, for that matter, I really loved the shape of. And this is a very similar shaped phone. It's nice and sleek, it's slim, but the one thing about it that doesn't feel good in the hand is this screen protector is not the same experience as Gorilla Glass 5, so I'm going to take it off. Oh yeah, it's vinyl. Are you sure it's not?
No, not for me. Not even for me. So.
Yeah, no, that's much better. That feels very nice in the hand. Now back to that finish on the back for a second though. Probably could have used a little more fingerprint resistance. I've been sitting here for about 4 minutes. Let's see if it's at least easy to clean though with this wonderful shirt from lttstore.com. Here's something I didn't think of. Look at this, check this out, Andy. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Boom. No dust and grime buildup around the camera bump.
So nice.
Right? I didn't even think of that. Okay, this is a stupid thing for me to get all hung up on, but it really does, it feels different. Like it feels different. Like here, hold on. I gotta do a slide test. Here. Okay. Oh, Andy. That
is very smooth.
That needs to be the future. Where's Apple with this stuff? Included in the box, you've got a charger and a charging cable. Yeah, 65 watts, so we've got a fast charger and a charging cable. Unfortunately, this is not appropriate for my region, but that's okay, minor details. Oh, hello, whoop! These look like crappy cases. Lo and behold, they are. It would be a crime. Actually, it doesn't feel that crappy. That feels pretty nice. It would still be criminal. It would be criminal to have a phone that looks this good outside of the case and put a freaking case on it. I don't approve. It's too good to put a layer between you and the enjoyment. Let's set up the in-screen fingerprint sensor here, see if it's responsive. Seems a little slow, but remains to be seen if that's just during the training period. The position's a little bit lower than I'm used to and probably not where I prefer. Oh, they've got face unlock though. Still I'm not sure. Wait, what? Oh, that was very fast. Okay. Don't know how much I trust face unlocks that are not using like the topography of your face as well. Yeah, I like it up a little bit higher, but the advantage of this approach is that it's a little bit easier to landmark the spot without looking at it. Oh, there it is. So I'm try not to look at it here. It's got a 120 hertz display that runs at 1440 by 3216, so whatever aspect ratio that is. Basically means it has extremely high pixel density at around 516 pixels per inch. I really, with all these features, don't know if I would expect amazing battery life out of it, because it also boasts 1300 nit peak brightness on the OLED display. So if you're watching HDR10 plus content, for example, you'd expect this thing to get pretty flippin' bright. Volume rockers over on the side, 2 separate buttons. Then you've got your lock button over on the right. On the bottom, we've got USB Type-C for charging, as well as a dual SIM slot. Nothing on the top, but what's really nice is they managed to cram stereo speakers into it. So you've got an amplified earpiece speaker right here, and then a bottom firing speaker that, let's actually have a quick look here and see how balanced the stereo effect is. Typically with a very small device, my expectations are a little bit lower, but this is great. Now I'm really curious about this 3 megapixel camera. Oh, and I missed one of the cameras before. It actually has a total of 5 cameras, including the front-facing one. There's also a 13 megapixel telephoto camera with a 5x hybrid optical zoom and 20x digital zoom. So 5x hybrid optical, let's find out what is actually optical. Okay, so there's our little figurines that we take pictures of there. Here it is with our main shooter. Okay. Well, that's either an indictment of the main shooter or an indication that the telephoto is actually pretty strong. A little bit of noise in here, but definitely a cleaner image than the main one. One cool thing about this device, should you decide to take advantage of it, is full support for 10-bit color. So sensor, firmware, software, and of course the display itself are all capable of displaying 1 billion colors. Now, whether that'll make a difference to you in your day-to-day life, hard to say, but it could give you a little bit more flexibility in post, if nothing else. So that's a setting that you're going to have to adjust here for your photos. Boop, 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 just like that. And it does warn you that not everything is going to be compatible with your 10-bit pictures. Hold on, Andy, I'm gonna go for a little walk, okay?
Sure, yeah.
I'll be right back. Okay, let's have a look at this. That is not bad. See, you can see it's kind of compensating there as I turn around the corner. It's not perfect, but if I was like desperately trying to capture something and I was in a situation where I'm kind of all over the place, this is a lot less jitter than I'd normally be stuck with. Not perfect. I guess the only thing left to say then is it has IP68 water resistance, so it's supposed to stay under, I think, 1.5 meters of water for half an hour, which is pretty darn good. This is a fine looking and feeling device, man. So we'll probably have a link to it in the video description. You guys can go check out more details if you're into it. Make sure you subscribe to Short Circuit so you don't miss more of these initial impressions. Okay, so it's dirty, right?